It looks like Kanye West has been making his wife Bianca Censori dress like Kim Kardashian, and this may be what triggered her to drastically change her appearance to look less like Kim. According to an expert's analysis, there are striking similarities in the fashion choices of Kanye West's wife Bianca Censori and his ex-wife Kim Kardashian. Bianca was seen wearing a red full body outfit resembling Kim's 2020 Halloween outfit. This, by the way, is not the first time that people have noticed similarities in the styles and appearance of these two women. Like, Bianca had long dark hair, which was a style that of course was previously seen on Kim Kardashian. And she has also been seen wearing similar outfits like sheer tights during outings with Kanye West. Now, the expert, who's a psychiatrist and author, Carol Lieberman, believes that Bianca may be intentionally copying Kim's style to make Kanye forget about his ex-wife and see her as the better version. This could potentially lead him to choose to stay with Bianca instead of eventually one day going back to Kim, with whom he has 4 children with. So this is one theory that she has going here, and this is what she had to say specifically. It isn't a coincidence that Bianca is copying Kim's style. She knows that Kanye is still in love with Kim, so she's trying to take on Kim's attributes to make him forget Kim and to see her as the better version. However, the expert also does consider the strong possibility that it's in fact Kanye who's the one influencing Bianca's fashion choices, making her wear clothes that are similar to Kim's to give the impression that he is still with Kim herself. And this is not a far-fetched idea, because it's definitely evident that Kanye West has had significant influence on the fashion choices of the women that he's romantically been involved with in the past. Kim Kardashian in particular experienced a huge transformation in her style under Kanye's influence. Even in an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim mentioned that Kanye was giving her a complete clothing makeover, inspiring her to embrace a more individualistic approach to fashion.
Kanye's definitely inspired me to want to be a little bit more of an individual. I think my style is just evolving and changing, and I think it should, because that's, what life is about.
While she did acknowledge the evolution of her own personal style, Kim also admitted to feeling emotional when her favorite pieces were completely discarded. Kanye's impact on Kim's style can definitely be seen in her transition from vibrant and patterned outfits to a more minimalist vibe. And one huge moment that indicated this was actually at the 2021 Met Gala, when Kim surprised fans by wearing an all-black Balenciaga outfit that covered her face and entire body. And for this look, it was said that Kanye was the one who encouraged Kim to push creative boundaries and challenge people's perceptions of fashion with this look. Similarly, it appears that Kanye is encouraging his wife Bianca Censori to also push boundaries in fashion. Like, Kanye was even seen going on a shopping spree at Balenciaga with Bianca. And of course, we know that the media often draws comparisons between Kanye West's romantic partners and his ex-wife Kim Kardashian, leading to claims that they are just clones or imitations of Kim. This has happened before he married Bianca Censori with other partners. So after marrying Kanye West, Bianca Censori made a significant change to her appearance by dyeing her hair blonde and cutting it much shorter. And psychotherapist Jade Thomas gave some insights on this in an interview with The Sun, and this is what they had to say. "I can imagine it had been very difficult for Bianca to be compared to her new partner's ex-wife. This comparison could lead to feelings of worthlessness and sets an unrealistic expectation of her new relationship. Furthermore, this constant comparison could lead to thoughts of, is my partner only with me because of my appearance? Or thoughts of, would my partner still like me if I look different? Perhaps this dramatic hair change for Bianca could be a way of turning a new page in her life or relationship. It could also be a way for her to break away from the comparison of her new partner's ex-wife. A radical hair change could be a way of one trying to redefine their self-image." So guys, I'm curious to know what you think about this. Is it just Kanye that's pressuring Bianca to dress and look more like Kim? Or do you think it's a bit of both? Or do you think it's just straight up Bianca that's saying, all right, I'm down for it. I'm just gonna do whatever I wanna do. And Kanye is just, you know, being a good husband and saying like, okay, whatever you wanna do, I'll support you. You know, there's so many different ways to look at this, but it definitely, for me anyways, it seems like it, of course, is Kanye being very influential in what his wife looks like. Because we've seen in the past, especially in his relationship with Kim Kardashian, that he could be very dominating, very controlling, and want to dictate what she wore. So I don't think Kanye West has changed in that regard. So that's why I believe that it's straight up Kanye that is guiding what Bianca Censori is wearing. But
the divorce between Britney Spears and her estranged husband, Sam Asghari. Sam was allegedly secretly working with her father, Jamie Spears, to give him details about her life and keep her in her conservatorship.
Britney Spears thinks that her ex-husband, Sam Asghari, was secretly cooperating and working with her estranged father, Jamie, and giving him information to support her 13-year conservatorship. Like, this is wild, guys.
Britney Spears and Sam Asghari separated after more than 14 months of marriage.
Sam filed for divorce from Britney in August of 2023, just a little over a year after they got married.
A source close to the pop star has now claimed that she began having serious doubts about the relationship long before they officially split.
But someone close to Britney now says that she had started having serious doubts about their relationship well before they officially ended it. A source within the Spears family says Britney became suspicious that Sam, who she started dating 5 years before her father's control over her ended, might have been sharing personal details about her life with her father, Jamie. And this is what Insider had to say. Britney has reason to believe that Sam was secretly working with her dad, Jamie, since early on in their relationship.
Sam would supply information to Jamie that would help keep her locked up in the conservatorship.
In exchange, Sam was given access to her and her money.
Britney now feels like Sam was being deceitful all along.
Britney now feels like Sam was being deceitful all along.
Britney and Sam first struck up a romance in 2016 after meeting on the set of her music video for her song Slumber Party.
Less than 2 months after meeting on set of her Slumber Party music video, Sam and Britney, they made their relationship official on Instagram in December of 2016. And back then, Britney's father had complete control over her money, her job, as well as her daily life. Even though Britney was mainly surrounded by her dancers and people from her career, Sam was embraced by Britney Spears' family, who were very distant from her at the time. And he even joined them on family trips and outings. However, according to a source, their marriage started to struggle over time. And this source reveals that
Britney's unhappiness actually prompted her to pull away from the marriage months before Sam officially filed for divorce.
So there's a whole lot going on in the background there. And I'm pretty sure that we're not gonna know the full scope of everything that was actually happening in that relationship. Nevertheless, the source specifically had this to say. Britney was done with Sam months ago and was very unhappy.
There were plans in place to set Sam up with his own place and give him money to live
on so that it would be amicable. So guys, for a long time, not much was known about Britney's conservatorship. However, in June of 2021, she revealed distressing information during a deposition in a Los Angeles court. In addition to having some disturbing claims being made of mistreatment by her father, she also disclosed that the conservatorship stopped her from marrying Sam. And she explained that she was made to use IUD devices to avoid becoming pregnant. So yeah, Britney has been through a lot, guys. And to think that Sam had something to do with it to kind of pressure her or in a way manipulate her to stay under the conservatorship somehow. Don't necessarily know exactly how he was doing it, but man, that is just sad. And Britney's fans want to know, will she ever get a break?
Jada Pinkett Smith shared, 2 days ago I was at home when I unexpectedly walked into a room and found Will and Diddy kissing and doing inappropriate things to each other.
Jada Pinkett Smith talked about a difficult time in her relationship with her husband Will Smith.
It was one of those instances where you can tell they were doing it. While it initially caught me off guard, I knew it was true because Will was always talking about what if it happened. Because of what I saw, I'm officially filing for divorce.
Where he was really controlling and she felt so restricted and trapped in the marriage. And their marriage has faced its share of challenges over 2 decades that they've spent together.
Jada Pinkett Smith brought herself to the red table, talked about pain, healing, and yes, Jada's entanglement with August Alsina.
And in one of her episodes of her show Red Table Talk, Jada shared about her journey of self-discovery, which led her husband to feel a little bit left behind.
You expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex. Right. It's like, well, if you love me, you should know. Right.
During her show on Facebook, Jada discussed her marriage with therapist Esther Perel, and the conversation focused on Jada's efforts to find her own path outside of the marriage. And she explained what happened when she tried to have more control over her own life within the marriage and in a broader way. And Jada went on to say this specifically. Specifically for me, in regards to redefining my marriage as a life partnership was the necessity of autonomy for myself and for Will. And according to Jada, she wanted to go out and explore her relationship outside of the constraints of the traditional ideas of marriage because it just wasn't working for her at all.
So when I think back about where I was, some of my insensitivity, some of my inconsideration.
And from there, this is what she added. We went on that journey to find that autonomy and to find the true authentic bond outside of obligation. I don't want you to be obligated. Jada did admit that she felt the pressure to be the perfect wife and to support Will Smith's dreams. And she spoke a little bit more about this, and this is what she had to say. It's pretty interesting. Whatever he wants to build, you're there to support that. Our whole life looked like his dream. I'm his energy source. That's great. But I've got to create part of this life that is designed and looks like me. So it was pretty much whatever Will said goes, and that's how it had to go. It's Will's dream, everybody had to support it, and that was very restricting for Jada. Jada also revealed this. He felt abandoned at first, he felt really abandoned. You never want to hurt the person that you love. You never want to create instability that way.
They could decide on an amicable separation, prioritizing their own happiness and the well-being of their children, while continuing to co-parent harmoniously.
However, gaining her own emotional independence from her husband proved to be a very difficult task, and she described it as excruciating in terms of the whole process, and it was one of the most difficult things that she's ever had to face in her life. It was such a big challenge for her to break free from the idea that Will Smith needed to fulfill a certain role for her, as she realized it wasn't fair for him. She also went on to share this, and a lot of it had to do with my father issues. I just realized one day, this man is not your father. Now, in recent times, the couple, Will and Jada, they have been showing a strong and united front to the world. Will Smith and Jada tied the knot back in 1997, and before that, Will was actually previously married to Cherie Zampino, who they have a son together, and his name is Trey.
Cherie and I actually have sat down to talk about it. And we talk about our journey, and we've come so far. Cherie and I have been doing this for, Trey's 25, we've been doing it for 23 years.
After meeting and getting to know Jada, Will realized that he was actually in the wrong relationship with the wrong person. And he even recounted a moment when he was out for dinner with Cherie, and he found himself crying uncontrollably in a restroom stall. And that experience made him realize that he just couldn't continue being with Cherie, and that's when he went for Jada. Now, Will and Cherie separated in 1995, and he began dating Jada then, and they got married in 1997 and welcomed their first child, Jaden Smith, together in 1998, and their daughter, Willow Smith, was born in the year 2000. And that's where I'm gonna end off this one, guys, but I'm curious to know, chime in the comment section, like, what are your thoughts about this, you know, marriage in the traditional sense? Are you for it? Are you against it? I know with Jada and Will, they now see each other as lifelong partners, like they are partners in life versus looking at it as some contractual obligation to be married together and for Will to be fulfilling a specific role for her and vice versa, and just putting all these pressures, they said, that's not working for them at all. But hey, for some people, the parameters of marriage look different, and for others, it works. For some, it doesn't work.